Hello again, friends. We are finally back after a 2-week hiatus. Welcome to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the week of March 6th, 2022. I am Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, and our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury. We never do this on any of our shows. We have always, when it comes to some sort of political dialogue or social dialogue that requires attention, we have always drafted a statement of neutrality, specifically because we want our platform to be used for entertainment only. We do that so we can offer an escape. However, that being said, due to the international situation that many countries are facing at the moment, Pro Wrestling Throwdown would like to take a moment of silence and solidarity with Ukraine. We stand behind you. We defend your ideals, and you're in our thoughts every single day. So now that I've finished, we're going to take just a couple of seconds to not say a word, and then we'll get right back into the entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy you have joined us. Thank you so much. We're happy to be back. I'm going to tell you right now.
Hello, baby.
Hello, darling. I am full of piss and vinegar, and I have no idea what's going to happen on this show. So if you're strapping in, we appreciate that you're coming for the ride.
It's like the NBA. It's fantastic.
All the points are made up. I'm sorry. What is it?
All the points are made up. All the
points. What is it? Something's made up and the points
don't matter.
Rules are made up and the points don't matter. God damn.
Obviously.
I don't know how. I completely forgot that.
Hello, all five in the chat.
We appreciate your attendance. All right, so let's get into some of the wrestling news stories. Obviously, the big story of the week. Tony Khan, CEO of AEW, has purchased Ring of Honor for the paltry sum of $40 million.
Which is about 39 more than Vince paid for WCW.
38.
38.
He paid $2 million. It's interesting because, number one, it gives Tony Khan full reign of the library from Ring of Honor, which means they also get the raw footage to All In. All In being the inaugural event that inspired the creation of AEW.
Yes.
That also means there's another promotion with talent, with open roster spots, considering most of their talent deflected to other companies. Control Your Narrative, which we are definitely
going to talk about.
Definitely going to cover. So please hang on because I got thoughts. Anyway.
He's got chills. They're multiplying.
So AEW has the unique opportunity. AEW primarily runs from the southern coast to the Midwest. So AEW is obviously a heavy influence in Florida.
Yes.
What with their family owning the Jaguars.
Jacksonville, yeah. Big.
But they also cover a large portion of the Midwest. Ring of Honor is all East Coast.
Yes.
So Tony Khan, provided he does, so there's a conversation right now, is he going to do TV with Ring of Honor or is he just getting it for the library? There aren't any plans right now, so they don't know, but it's a fresh acquisition.
Well, they have a television.
They have a syndication deal, not a live broadcast.
Not just
deal.
that, but they did announce the other day that they did have they were building towards.
Don't drink, don't smoke. If you do, welcome to the club.
Yeah, that they were working towards a deal where they already have in place a couple live events.
Yeah, well, Turner
and the Hall of Fame that they're getting ready to do.
Turner has access to HBO Max, which is a huge conversation right now as far as streaming.
Yes.
And they never would have considered it if Vince didn't go into business with the Peacock Network. Because NBC footing the bill for the network is great for them. HBO footing the bill for their streaming capability, fantastic idea.
It's a good idea.
But either way, Tony Khan's in a unique position now because he could run two separate companies with two separate booking philosophies, we'll say. Ring of Honor is very, to its detriment, to its positive first. Ring of Honor is the very traditional version of modern professional wrestling.
It's basically the name itself is valuable.
So if you want to gather some of the best technical wrestlers in the world and put them in one spot for an hour a night on TV where we can get you a third-party deal from some network under Turner, a Ring of Honor is the absolute best choice to do that with. Hopefully, they maintain the traditional spirit of Ring of Honor. AEW, like it, don't particularly care. It's an entertainment medium that incorporates traditional.
Well, and here's the deal.
Yeah.
Tony Khan has been basically signing every
free talent
available.
Yeah.
So he has.
Hello, Bethany. Thank you for joining us.
He has enough of a presence and enough of a roster that he could run two separate programs with just who he has signed now.
Well, and that's the other thing. Since Ring of Honor's had so many deflections, if you wanted to trim the fat from AEW's primary roster and get people featured on your main TV that you definitely should be featuring, but have to use up time for other guys, you've got a whole other company. You can send some of those guys over. You basically, AEW's clutter problem just became a lot less problematic because all of their guys will still get paid what they're getting paid. They'll just be working on another TV show that Tony Khan, not AEW, Tony Khan owns. I think it would be side tangent real quick. What if AEW goes out of business and Ring of Honor is the one that lives? Not that AEW, I'm projecting them going out of business anytime soon.
No, but with the name value
wouldn't
alone,
that be like, oh man, we had to close Dynamite. Good fucking thing, Ring of Honor Explosion's still going on.
Well, and that's a distinction that we really need to hammer into the people at home, and that's Ring of Honor is owned by Tony Khan.
Yes.
Ring of Honor is not owned by AEW.
Well, for those of you that don't understand, AEW is financed by Shad Khan's holding companies. Basically, a brief history lesson. Shad Khan has so much money he's leaving to all of his children. He allowed Tony Khan to access some of his trust fund early on in the sum of $100 million. Shad Khan is worth, 6 to 7 billion, so it's fine.
Yeah.
For him, that was cutting a check for the
pocket change.
Yeah. But so with that being said, the initial investment between the initial deal they made with Turner and the infrastructure laid in place, they had roughly $160 million a year to work with. Yeah. Now, the $60 million residual because that's what they get paid by the network. The $100 million flat. So if they spend a bunch of money in one spot, it might be, depending on what they make back up. Oh, drop the lighter. Where'd it go? Depending on what they make back up from advertisers, which I imagine they break even on because advertisers pay a lot for that space.
Yes.
They're probably working with an active budget, we'll say, of $150 million every year. That's after expenses are paid. Not including what they bring over. If their budget the previous year was $122 million, then we've got another $28 million to work with on top of the initial investment.
Right.
That's what they make back. But right now, they've diluted that financial allocation to invest in another company. The cool part about that is AEW, with the exception of the video game, isn't profitable. So Khan's already made all of his money back minus what he put in. You got $100 million invested in one and $40 million invested in the other. You've still got a damn good fucking wrestling show.
Yeah.
Every single day. Now,
and like I said,
they get the third party deal.
Ring of Honor is a big purchase.
Don't drink, don't smoke. I said it twice.
Ring of Honor is one of those brand names, too. I mean, everyone knows Ring of Honor. Everybody knows the history of Ring of Honor. Everybody knows that it was the breeding ground for some of the best pure wrestling talent in professional wrestling.
Yeah, the absolute best.
Now you have to look at roster size. Okay, who do we keep? Who do we keep on AEW? Who do we allow to go to Ring of Honor now that we're going to have that working relationship where AEW wrestlers are going to come to Ring of Honor? Then you've got your dream matches, your FTR and the Briscoes, your Bucks and
thank God,
whoever.
Yeah.
But the thing with that is the talent that is loose right now.
Yeah.
Right now in wrestling, well, loose from the E, I should say. You've got CM Punk. You've got Daniel Bryan. You've got Christopher Daniels.
John Moxley.
Well, I'm just talking about Ring of Honor alumni.
Oh, okay.
On top of all of these names, you have Joe, who's now a free agent.
Yes. Cesaro.
You have somebody who can be your shooter as a commissioner in William Regal, who's not doing anything right now, who single-handedly made NXT watchable as their general manager.
Imagine. Khan. How about Ring of Honor? We got an hour on, I don't know, what's a subsidy of TBS?
USA Network?
No, that's NBC.
Oh, that's Viacom. You're right. Of TNT, you put on
TNT or TBS?
You put on TMC?
TMC.
AMC?
Okay, so let's use perfect. TMC? Let's use AMC as the example.
Because AMC has an AMC Plus that's a streaming app as it is right now.
So, holy shit, an hour wrestling program on AMC. Let's
UHF Weird Al?
Let's jump on that for a second. So Khan comes up and he says, you got an hour a week on AMC.
Yeah.
Primetime television. Yeah. We'll say non-competitive Tuesday nights.
Well, I mean, technically you could keep it on the CW. That's who owns the rights to the syndication as is. And they have their own streaming app too.
Warner Brothers owns the CW.
I know that, but that's who Ring of Honor is in the pocket of right now.
But that's the deal that Sinclair made.
And Ted Turner, doesn't he own Warner Brothers? Time Warner
was Warner Brothers part of the merger?
Warner, yeah. Yes.
Hell, he might. If that's the case, fuck, put it on the CW then. Fill the old SmackDown slot. Either way, to that point, Tony Khan comes up and says, hey, we got an hour a week to work with for the next 52 weeks. You got a 2-year deal. So you've got 104 episodes to sink somebody in. William Regal, would you book it?
For sure.
And William Regal would say, first of all, for how much money? Because he's a professional wrestler, and some of you kids haven't figured that out yet. We'll get to that in a minute. For how much money? Tony Khan signs the check, and then it's like, okay, who do I have to work with? Tony Khan says, all right, well, you've got your standing Ring of Honor roster that has deflected. You have an established champion in John Gresham, established tag champions in Briscoes, established women's champion, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. All right, who can I steal from AEW to put on my show so I have some visibility? Doesn't necessarily have to be a top guy. Would prefer it to be someone is recognizable with Ring of Honor name, but Cody just left.
Yeah.
Omega's out. Your only options then are Punk and Bryan. So do you send Bryan to the Ring of Honor show, or do you keep him on your TV?
That's a good question.
You could use him for both.
Yeah.
But do you want Bryan featured on one? Basically, it would be, do you want him only featured on one, or do you want him featured on the both? And
do
if
you
you
want
only
Bryan
feature him on the
Daniels
one,
as your ROH champion or not?
if you only feature him on the one, which one's going to mean more?
Well, if it's coming from a pure wrestling standpoint, you'd want him on Ring of Honor.
I completely agree.
But also, if you have him on Ring of Honor, you want to also send Daniels. You want to also send all of these original. Here's the deal: you send all of the original boys down. You have them do the correct thing, where they
two. Hold on, Joe Smith, the Don. Are you two laying in bed together? First of all, John, it's spelled TWO, as in the number. Second of all, no, this fancy backdrop that we have indicates that we're in our studio. And while I appreciate that you're trying to be funny, what you come off as is a dickhead. And I promise you there is no bigger dickhead in this room than me. So either pipe the fuck down in my chat or get the fuck out of my room. Those are your options. They're non-negotiable, and there are 2 things you can do about it. Nothing and like it. That being said, you were saying.
Well, pipe bomb.
I'm going to, may I?
Eviscerate the troll,
Thank you very much. First of all, partner, I'll go ahead and read this for you. Those of you that aren't in the chat, Joe Smith, the Don says, oh, don't get choppy with me, you geeky twat, which means one of 2 things. 1, you're in the UK, or 2, you like to cosplay that you are. And while that's a fantastic notion, I'll let you know something right now. If you want to physically settle this up, I live at 115 East McDonald Street, Marion, Illinois, 62959. You can fucking show up. Second of all, I'll get choppy with whoever the fuck I want to because I'm 6'2", and I'm a hard ass. If you don't fucking like that, get the fuck out of my chat. Second of all, I'm sorry, is that the third point or the second point? I wasn't listening while I was fucking talking to you, you douchebag. Don't you ever fucking come into my chat room and try to fucking throw our show off with your bullshit. Because I promise you, in real life, I'm harder than you. Your wife thinks I'm harder than you. Your girlfriend thinks I'm harder than you. You don't have to fucking like what we're doing here, but you're not going to come in here and try to fucking steamroll my show because you think you're funny. What you are is a punk.
Hey.
What?
You eviscerated that troll. I'm harder than he is.
Fuck you. I told y'all I felt confrontational today, and this motherfucker just decided to wake the beast. I will beat the brakes off of you.
What? Mark Ross, legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
Thank you very much. How the fuck? However, that's the first major troll interaction we've had. So thank you very much for that.
They should give us a milestone.
Yeah, now, shut the fuck up or contribute. Geeky twat. I'll fuck your wife in front of you. But you start with me.
Ooh. So anyway, Ring of Honor. This is a wrestling podcast. Not just wrestling his old lady. Ring of Honor would do good to come with, what is this?
Oh, that's Caitlin. Coletta says, all we can be is Caleb. And my very good friend Caitlin said, Caleb came to play today. You goddamn right. Anyway.
So, yeah, wrestling. Remember, we're here for wrestling.
I apologize. You know what? My bad.
Look, you've even killed the illusion of the
No,
backdrop.
no.
What the hell, man? There we go.
We fixed it. Back in the studio.
Look over here. Look over here. You would want Daniel Bryan as your champion. For anything else, what you do is you use it to forward like the New Blood ECW original storyline where you have all the originals in there. You have the guys rise up.
You could borrow Punk. You could borrow Daniels. You could borrow several of the Ring of Honor alumni.
Yeah. Or hire the ones that haven't been hired yet.
Yeah. John Gresham, obviously, Ring of Honor champion. He's going to be part of the conversation. The Briscoes. I'm just so excited that we're fun. Don't you bring up Danhausen's name in my presence today.
It's very nice, very evil of you.
Well, being evil has a price. I paid it.
Joe Smith. It's really John Smith. He's just illiterate. Don't know how to spell.
I'm really sorry that I went that far.
Oh, you're good. Everybody's still here. We got 8 people in the chat.
I ain't in the fucking mood today.
Anyway, so Ring of Honor's been covered.
Yeah.
I was watching the Pat McAfee Vince McMahon.
Let's talk about it. First
Fantastic.
of all, anybody who says Vince McMahon has lost his faculties is wrong. 1,000%. Not only was he conversational, he was affable, he was charismatic.
Sure I heard you say that several times.
I said he's lost the fucking plot when it comes to what professional wrestling is. I never said he was a senile old man. There's a distinction that needs to be made there. Because the interview that he gave Pat McAfee was wildly entertaining.
Yeah, it really was. He
was
opened up.
too.
Yeah, he opened up about a lot of things you just don't talk to Vince McMahon about.
He talked about the familial abuse he received from his father.
Yeah.
Brief history lesson there for those of you unaffiliated or just tuning in. Vince McMahon purchased the WWF from his father, Vince McMahon Sr. Basically would pay out of the profits from the company until he owned it. But they started the company very early, very young, and Vince McMahon grew up in a trailer park.
Yeah.
And
8-foot trailer with no running water.
Yeah, he and his brother Roderick received some familial abuse from Vince Sr.
Yeah.
Which, let's consider, first of all, this was in the 1950s, 1960s. Not excusing it, just understand times what was acceptable in a family were different.
Yeah.
And Vince very pointedly said, I made it through the beatings and I learned everything.
Oh boy, everybody's reading in the chat. It's about to get interesting.
Buddy.
This is fun. This is so much fun.
I'm so glad you joined me today. May I?
As you were, sir.
Thank you very much.
So
why don't you read that message for the kids at home?
For the kids at home. Producer, would you please
produce? Did you see his double chins bouncing up and down when he got triggered?
Now, I will absolutely accept that I have a double chin because I'm a big man.
Well, he's talking about you or Vince.
I am so right. I am 6'2". I am 240 pounds. But all 240 pounds is you don't want to fuck with me. And you can ask anybody who knows me about that. If you have something to say, don't do it on my live, pumpkin. Because what will inevitably happen is I'll find you. And obviously, again, I assume you live in the UK or you're just a giant fucking nerd. And I accept that because I'm a giant fucking nerd. The difference is I'm a giant fucking nerd. Don't come up here disrespecting me. Don't come up here disrespecting my fans who tuned in to listen to me. Because two things will happen to you. Either I'll find you in real life and I'll beat the piss out of you. Or I'll find you on social media and I'll flag all your bullshit. Actually, I think I'm just going to go with the first option. And I've got disposable income because I'm a fucking adult. My country didn't ruin their economy whenever they invested in the wrong fucking proxy 4 years ago. Brexit,
Ooh, smart guy burn. That's right. I'm here all day.
As I was saying.
Anywho, where were we at? Oh, the Pat McAfee interview. Vince McMahon basically laid it out there and was like, I don't listen to critics.
Criticism from what he said. How appropriate. He said how toxic that internet interactions can be with fans.
Well, yeah, but that's with fans, not with some douchebag in a chat room. Pat McAfee really put it in there, too. He opened Vince McMahon up More than I've seen Vince McMahon open up in an interview
Yeah.
since they slapped that one dude on HBO.
Yeah. Oh, when he got hot with the interviewer.
Yeah, I can't ever think of his
Neither
name.
can I.
But,
Just another wrestling journalist.
Smacked him around. Oh, he's a sports journalist.
Yeah.
He was.
He was a legitimate, actually,
Yeah.
MLB journalist for forever. I just can't remember his name.
But Vince McMahon's interview was great. Pat McAfee did his best to sell Vince McMahon the way that he could.
Also,
it was a great interview.
Kudos to Pat. He kept that interview rolling. There were periods of it where Vince doesn't accept praise essentially for what he's contributed to the business. Pat McAfee was able to navigate those moments of that's just what it is, pal. And Pat would continuously just keep driving with Vince, and you don't ever see that happen with Vince, which was super refreshing.
Agreed. Let's see. What else we got going on in the news?
Well, we covered a couple of weeks ago that Impact managed to let Josh Alexander's contract slip.
Yes.
Apparently, he's back in the States, and they've signed a multi-year deal, and the holding company that owns Impact is the Canadian billionaires that own the hockey team.
Right.
And they own Access Network, all that. Apparently, they offered a pretty substantial amount of money for Josh to re-sign, which means Impact's finally, like we said, they were always going to start putting money in the game.
Yeah. On top of that, WWE let Antonio Cesaro's contract elapse, and he decided not to resign.
Not only did he not resign, it wasn't a release. There's no compete. He can go wherever he wants, whenever he wants.
Yep. Which Eddie Kingston's already started stirring the pot on Twitter.
Okay, so
Claudio doesn't have the balls to show up.
They've got legitimate beef.
Yeah.
I guess Claudio refused to put him over at some point or whatever it is. Doesn't matter. Reality creates the best version of what we do. Hire Cesaro, if only for a feud with Kingston, and then send him on his way. Pay him whatever the fuck he wants. Bring him in. Put him to work, because that will sell. Eddie Kingston could have been Stone Cold Steve Austin for this generation if AEW would have pulled the trigger 3 months ago.
Yeah.
We've already established that, agreed to that. That's the perfect scenario for them. Bring in Cesaro. Let some of that real life fucking heat bleed over from two guys like that who legitimately get tough, who legitimately fucking roll. Absolutely.
Also, be remiss if we didn't talk about the debut of Eric Redbeard on AEW.
He joined. Is it
the Death Triangle?
The Death Triangle. So that's
Pac and
Pentagon, and now Christopher Daniels is also.
He is also
the Fallen Angel.
So I mean, you're going to build that up. That feud would be great with the Dark Order once it's all said and done. If you wanted to legitimize the Dark Order.
And then Aleister Black has Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, and
Brody King.
And
now Eric Redbeard.
Yes. So David Jones, Undertaker, never the guy, never drew a dime, tanked King of the Ring 2002 by rating was canceled, headlined lowest drawing WrestleMania of the 90s, ex-wife's name's on his neck, LARPs as a Hell's Angel member.
Okay, hold on. Let me tear this one apart here.
Hold on. I want you to vamp about this comment so I can go use the restroom.
Okay.
Vamp, collect your thoughts regarding The Undertaker, and then I'll be right back.
All right, first off, Undertaker never being the guy is the dumbest statement I have ever read in my life. The Undertaker was always the guy. He sold out probably more arenas than anyone in professional wrestling. He is not only a gimmick of professional wrestling, he is the gimmick in professional wrestling. As far as headlining lowest drawing WrestleMania of the 90s and 2010s, also not accurate. The lowest drawing WrestleMania in the 90s would have been 7, and it was headlined by Hulk Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter. So right there proves that you're unintelligent. As far as the ex-wife's name on his neck, he no longer has his ex-wife's name on his neck.
Taken off years ago.
And as far as LARPing as a Hell's Angel member, Undertaker's probably tighter with more bikers than anyone in the world. No one talks about Mark Calloway. I love when people bring this kind of stuff up and they try to defend themselves as being smart to two guys who actually know what the fuck they're talking about. The Undertaker, like I said, is the biggest draw for the WWE since Hulk Hogan. And anyone who doesn't see that is
WWE would not have gotten to where it was without
the Undertaker. Now, you can say what you want about not being, an Undertaker fan or whatnot. As far as tanking the King of the Ring 2002 buy rate, the 2002 King of the Ring was Brock Lesnar versus Rob Van Dam for the King of the Ring, and that match alone tanked King of the Ring 2002. But I appreciate that you're engaging because that means that you can actually spell, which is more than the last guy. But all of your stuff is wrong. He was the guy. He didn't headline the lowest WrestleMania because that was Hogan and Slaughter in 91. And as far
It's
as that,
also mentionable that he's the only person to date that has a retiree contract that extends over 20 years past the date in which he ever wrestled.
So it is a great opinion to have. It's just wrong.
wrong. Yeah. I mean, you're allowed your opinion no matter how wrong
Y'all picked
it
the
is.
right day, baby. Y'all picked it. I just love that. Hold on.
We're going to show that one.
I just love that my boys get to keep putting dumbass people in the place, and somebody else responds, he's working you. LOL. Fun fact, we know that. It's entertainment.
I mean,
Back to our regular schedule.
we are a
program
part
on
of it.
progress.
It's a work, brother. I knew that.
Everything's a work, brother.
But
You got those gimmicks?
Again, I got out all factual stuff, so it joke's really on you.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I'll accept your opinion whenever you retire and still make $1 million a year after the fact for the next 25 years. Until that time.
I would respect their opinion if they made $300 a
Shut
week.
up.
Do we want to talk about that house show with MGM?
MSG?
MSG, Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
So, first of all, MSG was always the WWE's original home.
yes.
The WWF. So every Madison Square Garden event is huge, even now internally to the WWE, even if they don't broadcast it on TV. So when it comes to MSG events, they're always pretty big. There were some issues getting a full house. They ended up selling, I think, close to a full sellout. Not obviously the full take. I think MSG holds, what is it now, 18,000?
Something like that.
It's close to 20. I know it's right under 20. They sold a little over 15. Either way.
Not terrible.
Yeah, not the worst.
terrible. Not a terrible sell.
So they subbed out the original scheduled main event for the Road Tour was Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. Obviously, with Bobby's injury, they had to make a last-minute change here. And Vince, because he's so high on Austin Theory, as he should be, subbed in Austin Theory in the main event last minute. And Austin Theory had a competitive match with Brock Lesnar.
For all of about
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Did definitively lose, as he should. And then Roman Reigns and the rest of the Samoan family appeared, brutalized Brock Lesnar. And it's an interesting thing because you never see, obviously, they're not going to do the blood or any of their major things that would market Brock Lesnar on TV. But they did take an opportunity to do in a high-profile event, bloody Brock Lesnar up, have Roman come in really strong. So it's sort of like, we know we can't show this on TV, but we know this event's going to get buzz. So let's show it on all the other media parameters.
Also, the best part about the thing is if you watch any of the videos that have leaked on YouTube and Facebook, when Roman Reigns hits Lesnar with that Superman punch, that crowd went berserk.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Roman will continuously be over.
Covered in blood, laughing hysterically, which I can only imagine just how.
There's a picture.
That scared shit out of me.
There's a picture in the media where Lesnar's standing in front of all the camera people on the end of the ramp, and he's got the belt over his shoulder. He doesn't look pissed. He just has this look of like, I'm fucking annoyed. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm furious.
Finally.
I think it would be scarier for him to just be aggravated at you than it is if he's like furious with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if you're furious, you're going to make a lot of mistakes as a person who has been very
And also,
angry
if
and
he's
hesitant.
If he's just a little peeved, it kind of makes you upset.
You have to do
what do I
piss
got to
you
do to
off?
piss this guy off?
Smile of,
Right.
okay,
Right.
now let's turn it up a notch.
And this was the moment
And
he
you go,
knew.
oh my God, he has
he
another
fucked
notch.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
7 people living in a house all together.
No, the MSG crowd wasn't. While it wasn't a complete sellout,
Was pretty close.
it was pretty close. The show was pretty solid.
Yeah.
It's a good that the house shows are drawing as much as they are right now, due to the fact of gas prices and stuff like that. To still draw, what did you say, 1,500?
15,000.
15,000 rather.
Yeah.
that's
like I said, I
not
think
bad.
they were roughly. I think the last thing, because obviously Meltzer, despite all of his faults, is the absolute best person at accurately reporting ticket sales. If you don't listen to any other bullshit, that information is just great. But it was like they were 2,500 to 2,700 tickets right off the market being a complete sellout. That's also including they used the downscale stage, so they weren't eating up a ton of arena seats with their setup. So realistically, they got as close to a sellout as they could possibly get, which is really nice.
Yeah, and for like I said, for this time.
By the way, anybody who I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No. How about it?
I was just going to say, anybody who makes remarks about the WWE and how they're not making any money, barring the fact that they're making roughly $3 billion a year from their multiple extra revenue sources, such as Peacock, the Saudi Arabian deal, the Australian deal, and et cetera, the events are still selling.
Well, and here's the deal. What those people also fail to realize is that the WWE just did an entire year of shows without a live attendance and still made money.
Yeah.
Well, so
it's not just that. They made record profits in the sum of 5 to 10 times of what they've ever made.
But you see what I'm saying. It wasn't that the live shows matter.
They didn't really make as much money from this particular series of shows during the COVID era than they did when they first became a publicly traded company on the stock market.
Yeah.
They recorded, when you say record profits always indicates the highest end of what it is you make. They never factor in the percentages. For instance, a company can make 4% higher revenue than the company that previously, and it's a record profit. That's after bills are paid. They made 400 times profit between 2019 and 2021. Their fiscal reporting year, what is it? Their deal with NBC, $60 million a year. So you factor that by 500, that's $3.2 billion. That's not including the revenue they get from
Tyson Lauren. Nick Khan did some fantastic heel work last year.
That I agree with.
Yeah, he did.
1,000%. Hey, look, man, it's when you factor in the fact that the WWE is a corporate environment and it's not a wrestling environment, not everyone's going to keep their job. That's just the way it is. If you've ever worked in an office, you know that turnover rate's high. Do we think creatively they make mistakes? Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Do they make those mistakes specifically driven on fiscal decisions? Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like there are a lot of new accounts watching right now.
It's super awesome.
Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for joining in. If you're just now tuning in and you're offended by what I said earlier, well, sorry about it.
Why are you living in the past?
You know what?
Y'all want to talk about Vince living in the past? Y'all living in the past,
bro.
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro. You got the hair.
Grow up,
bro. Grow up.
But yeah, no. Vince, the house shows really. I mean, while they are revenue, they really don't need them. It's extra money coming in for things that they don't already have. Vince McMahon doesn't need the help.
No, the international distribution alone they get off of certain rights. With Disney, like we reported a couple weeks ago,
WrestleMania, the streaming rights of WrestleMania, being able to buy it on pay-per-view.
The argument that the WWE is a dying brand is hilarious because they could not sell another ticket for another 20 years and pay all of their expenses, and the company would still be worth probably $1 billion by the end of it.
With all of the celebrities and all of that,
the endorsements alone, the media endorsements.
Yeah, you wouldn't need much of nothing.
So we talked about Josh Alexander re-signing. We talked about the Ring of Honor acquisition. We've been talking WrestleMania. Did we have any other news that we needed to cover this week? I'm trying to think. It's kind of been a slow week. We obviously, Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cody Rhodes. So he leaves AEW. There's a
don't smoke or drink. It's bad for you.
Yeah, sorry.
That's the third time it's been said.
Don't do it.
What about
Ryback? Wait, are you asking? Hold on. Clarify. Do you want our opinion on Ryback, or are you asking what his current status is? Because I can answer both. Yeah. I would love it if you answered quickly, so we don't have a ton of dead air here. While you answer that question, let's see.
I was going to actually make a point.
Please do.
I was going to go on a tangent, but if it's a legitimate question,
right? Well,
there's also a slight.
I don't want to know. I want to know if they mean what about Ryback in the sense of what you guys think of him, what he's doing right now? I want to clarify so we answer.
I want Ryback to come back and save the industry.
Okay, you're definitely someone. Hold on, you're definitely someone I know, and you're doing this deliberately. First of all, thank you for providing the content. We appreciate that. Second of all, You want that one first?
I know the perfect place for Ryback. It's the other place that you haven't talked about yet, the real island of the Misfit Toys, and that's this control your narrative.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Look, the joy of pro wrestling. Ryback should control his narrative, right as you said.
Oh man, good
fucking
call!
Great,
good call, Mark. That would be the perfect place for him to go.
Okay.
If you really want my honest opinion.
So the thing about Ryback, while he did have in-ring inconsistencies, he had a ton of momentum right in the end of 2011 to 2012. If they had pulled the trigger, for instance, the match he had with Cena that year, or was it Cena or was it Punk? Whichever one it was, drew like the most money that year because it was still pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? He was a legitimate draw at one point.
Okay, I have to hold on.
Yeah.
What is that? 1 times DDH. Mm-hmm. You have our full permission to roast that troll in the
please
chat
do.
if you would like.
I fully endorse it. I'll read it aloud with a Spanish accent. Anyway, so Ryback did have a ton of momentum.
He really did.
Going into that year. And the company was legitimately going to push him. Obviously, there are always going to be he's a Goldberg knockoff or whatever. If you don't understand the aesthetic business that we're in, a dude who looks giant, who can beat the shit out of you legitimately, will always make money.
Yes.
That's just a factor of what we do. It's really cool to see guys of different body types do it, but you're entertained by the fact that a big muscly dude beat the fuck out of another big muscly dude. And if you don't believe that, you've never watched a fucking action movie.
Anytime I think about Ryback, I think about that story Daniel Bryan told.
That being said,
which is that had to take a Cialis to impress Brock Lesnar.
Well, no, he had to go to the gym 2 hours early, is what I remember.
Yeah, well, he said something about taking a Cialis.
The deal with Ryback is that his aesthetic appeal is great. Number one, he doesn't know how to shut the fuck up.
No.
That always hurts him in the long run. Because here's the deal. It doesn't matter if what you're speaking is true as far as what you're referring to. Let's say I get signed with the WWE and I make $2 million over 5 years, right? Obviously, I get my release. People want to know my stories. But if my only story is, well, this guy couldn't work and this guy was out for me and blah, 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 all of a sudden you become completely disinteresting.
Yeah.
Because it's not you saying, oh, it just didn't work out. My gimmick wasn't the right time. It's always, oh, it was this guy's fault or it was that guy's fault. Then when you factor in the fact that he's a fucking nutcase who genuinely believes his own hype, and which is great. I'm all about believing your own hype. Trust me. The song you're singing I helped write. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Thank you very much. But there comes a point where you have to address yourself.
I'm under no delusions. I know who you are.
Thank you very much. Especially under the public eye of scrutiny, and this is the most engaged technologically a wrestling community has ever been. We're not talking about the fucking 1990s Reddit threads that were buried in the internet where you had to go and find the blogs and the walls for.
Yeah.
Every wrestling fan ever born right now and alive currently has a Twitter account. They all have a Facebook account. They all make their opinions known. Your job in this industry is to create appeal for yourself, right?
Right.
It's to sell yourself. So if you can't sell yourself to, let's say there are 10 million, that's a low average, but in the United States alone, 10 million active social media fucking presence followers who are using their social media specifically to target their love for professional wrestling. If you alienate all 10 million, you're either A, bad at your job, or B, bad at being a wrestler. And there's a very different distinction between being bad at the work and being bad at the wrestling.
Correct.
Trust me. Oh, we won't. Have fun at work, Coletta.
Love ya.
Ryback's issue is that he can't ever shut the fuck up. First of all, when he said that he could have outshot Paul Heyman in a promo, Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
You're telling me that the corn-fed meathead
Skip
Sheffield could have outcut a promo on Paul E. fucking Heyman. Any moves you guys hate? I can't stand the Spanish Fly. Let me double back to that. That's a great question. Let us finish this out with the Ryback thing, and we will definitely talk about that.
Yeah, for sure, because there's several.
Oh, my God. I got a list. But the fact of the matter is, Ryback would have sellability, and he would have affability. His continuous maneuvering and his continuous posturing is what hurts him.
Yeah.
He wasn't a grade A worker. He was a worker that you could book the right way and would look good. But that's the only way you could book them. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a one-trick pony, and it's a damn good trick. That's the way it should be. in professional wrestling, especially.
The thing with Ryback is we just gave Ryback like 10 minutes of free publicity on somebody I wouldn't give 6 minutes to.
You know what? That's fair. Do you want to move on to this? Any
moves you guys hate? I can't stand the Spanish
You want to go
fly.
first?
Yeah. Yes. While I understand the Spanish fly, I'm not a big fan of people using the super kick other than to be a finish. Super kick should be a finish.
That's a huge one.
Canadian Destroyer.
Let me handle the Canadian Destroyer, please.
I will. I'm just throwing some stuff. I'm just throwing some stuff out there. If you're not Randy Orton or Diamond Dallas Page,
don't use an ace.
Don't use the cutter. Matt Riddle is different because he's Randy Orton's partner.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like you see on AEW, you see every top main roster wrestler in WWE's finish every match.
But as far as just bad moves, on that thing that Charlotte Flair does.
Which one?
He's talking about the flip over
cutter.
Yeah.
The natural selection.
It just looks
terrible.
It looks just
flipping maneuvers are difficult. Charlotte Flair has really long legs.
So
even if she hooks it correctly, which she normally does, the dismount
always.
Also,
the reason it looks shitty.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it doesn't.
However,
it doesn't. However, it should be a finish.
But when Amazing Red would use that move, it looked great. Amazing Red was 5'6".
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Trish Stratus used a version flip over bulldog.
Yeah.
But it was.
I'm a personal fan of Trish Stratus' side head kick. Just saying. Throwing that out there. Yeah, I definitely think that wrestlers should go back to having a more grounded moveset.
Yes.
Buddy,
depends on the style.
Buddy, I think you and I are about to be best friends.
Depends on the style. I like my flashy stuff. I like the crazy stuff. My thing is keep the kiss rule. Keep it simple, stupid.
So
give me a couple big spots, give me some chains and some ground wrestling, and I'm a happy guy.
Not every match has to be.
I don't want to see you slap your leg. 37,000 times.
Leg slappers.
Also, you need 2 cameramen. These jarring cuts and stuff for these moves where the camera is literally bouncing from 6 different camera views is terrible, and it's killing the business.
Agreed.
Wrestling moves, a finish, any variation of a finish. If I hit you with the DDT, DDT's mine.
Maybe.
If I hit you with a DDT, no one else on the card should use the DDT.
Like to remind you that I've won 3 matches with the DDT.
Right.
You're welcome.
I definitely think wrestlers should have more of a grounded moveset. So keep the flashy stuff, just keep it to a minimum.
So here's my thing.
Make it special.
I've never made this a fucking secret. I am a traditionalist when it comes to wrestling. I want to see you throw some punches, some kicks, some slams, and some submissions. You can do that, and you can do it in a believable way. You've got me as a fan for fucking life.
Yeah.
Forever.
Well, but here's the deal. The traditionalists are basically what I'm saying. Back in the day, if Jerry the King Lawler used a pile driver, nobody else used a pile driver.
And nobody else kicked out of the fucking pile driver. You know
Just
why?
like John Cena. You can't
use
use the FU, or whatever he calls it, the attitude adjustment.
Yeah.
You can't use that because that's Cena's move. It's like, but here's the deal. Shawn Michaels throws a super kick, and we see 87 super kicks a match. It kind of kills the...
Yeah. Here's what happened. Here's what happened, kids. Shawn Michaels beat Bret Hart, and everyone stopped watching good, sound, technical wrestling. Not that Bret Hart is a good guy, because he's not. Shawn Michaels captivated the next generation's audience. So now, that's the audience they know. Petey Williams did the same thing in TNA.
Mark Ross from the Joy of Pro Wrestling writes, Bryan Danielson has been my cup of tea lately. He's tapping into the Dory Funk Jr., Jack Briscoe, Lou Thez vein. Danielson is like the Thez of our time.
Not like, is the Thez of our time.
He is the Thez of our time.
He is the absolute, as far as current active wrestlers who have international appeal, because I'm absolutely certain there are people in like Japan that are as technically gifted that we just don't explore enough. I'm an NJPW guy, but I can't keep up with AJPW, Noah, Shimmer, all of the fucking 14 companies that run over there. I just get exhausted.
Stardom, stuff like that.
But if you want to talk about American professional wrestlers, the absolute 2 best, let me rephrase that. The absolute 3 best pure professional wrestlers on the map right now, in my opinion. You don't have to like it. It's my opinion. I mean, fuck if you liked it. I didn't like it before. Bryan Danielson, Josh Alexander, John Gresham.
Yes.
As far as just traditional hardcore technical wrestlers with Drew Gulak and Oh, the last real man in professional wrestling. What is his name?
Silas Young.
Silas Young. I fucking love Silas Young. Randy Orton, while is technically sound, is not a traditional technical professional wrestler.
No, but he has the ability. I've seen him do it. He has the
Absolutely.
ability to do everything.
Absolutely, but the base of the archetype, that's not his wheelhouse. Randy Orton's best attribute is the fact that he can look at a crowd and make them do whatever he wants them to do.
The wrestling ring is his wheelhouse. It doesn't matter.
No disagreements. I'm just saying when you think about the greatest technical wrestler, Bruno Sammartino, perfect example. Biggest wrestling star of his generation. Not a sound technical wrestler.
Hulk Hogan.
Sound professional wrestler.
Hulk
Hogan. Great example. Even though you could argue his run in 91 at AJPW, very sound technically. Very. Even Ric Flair
That's where he used the drop kick. And
even Ric Flair wasn't a sound technical wrestler.
Yeah.
But he was the greatest professional wrestler.
He didn't need to be, though, because you had Arn and Tully, the brain busters.
Well, and that's the argument, though. But if you look at that example alone, Ric Flair, for his flash, his style, his pizzazz, his all of the it factor. Arn Anderson, for you're probably going to get hit hard and you're probably going to get spine busted. But did Arn Anderson have to do fucking anything else? No. Ric Flair, with that argument, it worked 60 minutes a night.
Triple H wasn't far off of that.
Triple H, I don't think is a super sound technical wrestler either. I think he's a very Ric Flair-esque, profound movement wrestler is the way it should be described. Shawn Michaels is the showmanship portion of what we do. You extrapolate on all the lights and the music and the rock and roll and the sex and the energy.
Actual technical wrestlers, the greatest.
Kurt Angle.
First names that comes to my mind.
Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist. Kurt Angle.
Yes, Kurt Angle, but honestly, William Regal.
Yeah.
Well,
his day.
William Regal, but if you compare American technical wrestling to catch-as-catch-can European wrestling, they're a little different. William Regal's the best catch-as-catch-can wrestler who's ever lived, with the argument that David Finlay could be added in there. But as far as
Dave, not Little Dave.
Yeah, but as far as like that parameter, William Regal's the greatest Sports United wrestler who's ever lived. For the American translation of what traditional technical wrestling is, honestly, the best example, barring Kurt Angle, the guy we don't talk about.
What's right in my head.
Yep, the guy we don't talk about, Dean Malenko.
Yeah.
Dean Malenko is literally probably the best pound-for-pound grounded technical wrestler who's ever lived.
It's really hard to argue that point.
Like, it's such a shame that the guy we don't... You suck?
That's coaches in the house.
We can say his name.
Mel's to the ball, you suck. Robert Page says, peekaboo, ha ha. Mel's to the ball, you suck. Do I?
I know a referee that tends to not think that.
How's Phil?
Love you.
No, but Dean Malenko's doesn't get the recognition.
And your glasses make you look silly.
Bitch, I can't see. Without my glasses, you look silly. Anyway, Dean Malenko should be part of that conversation. Rick Steiner should be part of the American technical wrestling conversation.
While we see what you type, we can't allow that in the chat.
Okay. He made the point. I won't say it, but Rob, I agree. We can't show it because we're trying to monetize the page. We've already broken enough rules, but I appreciate where you're coming from.
Mel's Ball says, every day.
Lindy. Oh, God damn you!
Look what you did.
God damn you!
Look what you did.
I'm sorry.
You made the giant toddler
now
cry.
I don't
Are
even
you
want to
happy
drink.
now?
Nah, you're good, brother.
That's cool.
Anyway, Rick Steiner should be part of the conversation for best technical wrestler.
Scott
Steiner. You would be hard pressed to find a better technical wrestler from 87 to 92 than young Scott Steiner.
93.
93 is when they really started focusing on the tag stuff.
But 93
for the American
when
audience.
they had determined that they were going. My whole video, if you haven't seen it, go back.
Oh, when Scott was in the consideration.
What if Scott would have won the title?
I know you've been avoiding saying it, so I'm going to Chris Benoit.
That's the man we don't talk about. Absolutely brilliant.
It's not Voldemort. We can say his name.
I know, but I don't want to give that a platform. That's look. For those,
notice he didn't mention the Taskmaster.
What happened? He was a fantastic wrestler.
Hold on, there are some people in here who aren't familiar with the history of wrestling. Well, briefly, briefly cover this. Chris Benoit was an NCAA real world champion, was a world traveling professional wrestler, was one of the best, if not during his period of time, the best technical wrestler. The only wrestler Kurt Angle ever said blew him up, and Kurt Angle, again, Olympic gold medalist. Chris Benoit tragically in 2007 took his own life and the life of his wife and his child.
So for real, what about Mike Rotundo? Also valuable point.
No.
Mike Rotundo, IRS? Yes.
No.
He was a Michigan graduate.
Way more on the internet entertainment side of wrestling.
Cholo.
As far as his technical
He's not asking about IRS. He's asking about his run as the varsity club. It was built around the ground game. He's actually got a point.
I don't disagree, but that's the same thing. Like Kurt Hennig, while a great technical wrestler, was not in the running for the best technical wrestlers because it leans so heavily on what the entertainment value he provides.
Chavo did it. God damn it!
God damn you, Coach!
Is that who that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Not in the 80s. No, but okay, but your comparison for the 80s. You cannot compare technical wrestling in the 80s to what the primary selling points of professional wrestling was in the 80s. Because that being said, the two biggest stars of the 80s were Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair. You name me a time Dusty Rhodes ever used an arm drag.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat?
Now, Ricky is a really
Hello,
lost...
Kate.
Hello, Kate. Ricky's a really lost argument as far as solid, sound, technical wrestling.
She does know that you're batting way above your average, right?
And we're so proud of her for it.
We really are.
We're so proud of you for it.
Congratulations and condolences all in the same sentence.
Whatever. Ricky's a good argument. What about Muda? As far as no, that's still got the Western appeal and technical striking aspect. Because if you want to go to Japanese greatest technical wrestlers ever lived, you got the four pillars.
I mean, you had the high flyer, but also the Ultimo Dragon could throw down.
Now, see, I had a conversation a little while ago with somebody, Ron Trauma, when they named like the best 5 to 10 cruiserweights in history, and Ultimo Dragon wasn't on the list. How could he not be?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
He's legit.
Someone else all said she reminds me of the Babe.
What Babe?
Hopefully,
Babe with power.
What power?
Power of the voodoo.
Who do?
You do.
Do what?
Remind me of the Babe.
This message is brought to you by David Bowie. You don't like David Bowie? Fuck you.
Budweiser suck one. Not a sponsor. Not
Actually,
a sponsor.
Yellow Jackets. Cool.
Also not a sponsor.
Not at all. I just like them in social.
Although could be a sponsor if they really wanted to be.
If you want to sponsor us, I'll quit drinking and smoking on camera. I'll quit swearing on camera.
Be back later. Hopefully you guys rock better than Dwayne.
Thank you for digging me out of that hole.
Power of the Babe. That's right.
That's right. Man, I love that we're talking about great technical wrestlers. So let's look at the 80s then. Specifically speaking, 80s. I got heat with Ultimo Dragon.
Of course you do.
Okay, I want you to write that story out in the chat so I can read it aloud while we have this discussion. 1980s, who were the best technical wrestlers?
The 80s?
Yeah.
What do you define as technical wrestling?
Okay, well, I guess it would have to be... So Ric Flair is a solid professional wrestler, not necessarily... Well, that's not true.
Well, here's the deal. If you're talking technical wrestlers in the 80s, there's no one better than Bob Backlund.
Bob Backlund is probably the best fucking argument you can make.
Yep.
There's no one better. Early 80s, you might even be able to throw the Iron Sheik of his day.
Hold on. 87. Dynamite Kid.
Yes and no, but then again, you're getting into that distinction of the European versus the...
That's true. And realistically speaking, Dynamite Kid and Tiger Mask is what really made the feud because Tiger Mask... The style dynamic was Dynamite Kid was that hardcore Stu Hart version, and Tiger Mask was that hardcore lucha version.
I mean, I was about to say, if you're going to go lucha version of technical, Inoki is a good one.
Antonio Inoki is right on top of the list. Him and I guess Giant Baba doesn't really qualify as a sound technical wrestler. Inoki though,
for sure,
Yuji Nagata,
Dave Taylor,
yeah.
Squire Dave Taylor, beautiful Bobby Eaton.
I would agree with that, but Bobby is just the best all-around professional wrestler.
But he
ever.
was as technical as could possibly be.
Well, so was Dennis Condrey in his early days. But like, if you look,
But you see, you have to break down tag teams like that, and that's going to get in an argument that we don't have enough time for.
Oh, well, I could talk the Midnight Express.
I mean,
all day
I
long.
think we can only have an 8-hour stream.
By the way, for the fans who are watching, you'll be proud of me. I have not listened to one Cornette podcast in 2 weeks.
And for those
Thank you very
that
much.
are Cornette fans, he apologizes. Got to keep both sides.
I do. I'm so sorry. I'll listen to him. I promise. I work tonight.
All right, here we go. Story time.
Yo,
story time.
Met him last week. 8 talents who have appeared on TV. He's the only one to charge to take a picture with children, disrespectful to the locker room and staff of the show, and worked. Oh,
wow,
that makes me so sad.
Also, not really surprising though.
Ultimo Dragon's a cuck. Who'd have known?
I mean, he did name the Acai Moonsault after himself.
Speaking of cucks, can we please talk about Control Your Nerd? Him and the Arrow Boy versus Sam Adonis and Puma King. You mean Prince Puma?
No, Puma King.
I don't recognize
Prince Puma was Ricochet.
Yeah, who's Puma King?
He's the new gimmick like that.
Oh.
He's the guy that wears the mask, dude. He wrestled TNA a couple times.
Oh, okay. No idea what you're talking
buddy
about.
named Timon.
That's my fault. That's something I'll educate myself on for next week. Can we please talk about Control Your Narrative?
I'm surprised we're not talking about Control Your Narrative right
Could
now.
we? Okay. Now, I want to make something very clear because this message may come off kind of controversial.
Hold on a second.
Yo.
Don't smoke.
You did nothing.
Don't drink.
Yes, please don't do that. AAA tag champs. Did nothing. So much not doing anything he was being. That's a shame. Ultimo, really? However, if you got a book of fucking luchador, book Super Crazy. Because
I managed Ricky Orton once. Ricky Morton?
I
did. That's a true
can I
story.
tell a story?
Sure.
So Ricky Morton shows up to a show we're working. We showed up late. Morton's hosting a seminar. And we didn't pay for the seminar, so we didn't leave the locker room because we got there late.
Because that's how you're supposed to do it.
Right. One of the show him the respect to do it is doing. So Morton sends our booker to the locker room to get the two of us. And I go out, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "Where's your tag partner?" talking to me. And I was like, "He's not booked tonight." It was Austin Rose. He's not booked tonight. We're doing something. He's doing something else tonight. And Ricky was like, "Well, that's a shame, man. I really heard you guys were a great tag team. Sorry we couldn't do business." Then ends up talking to Luke for hours after his seminar. Ends up making Luke his manager for the main event.
Pissed off everybody in the locker room. Because it was my first show at that arena. And he was like, "No, he's with me." I was like, I'm kind of a heel.
Bitch. You're lucky to show up at all.
I was like, I'm kind of a heel
That's not a
manager.
dick.
And he's like,
You
"Not
know
tonight,
that.
you're not." Well, all right then.
Yeah. Also, that was the night that
Hold on, wait a minute. Something I never thought of before. Hold on, let me clear my notes. Since I managed Ricky Morton, does that make me like the honorary third member of the Rock and Roll Express?
No, it doesn't.
I worked with him.
Doesn't.
I
No.
worked with him.
Was Robert Gibson there?
Well, no, he was sick.
Then no.
But I was with
He was
the
filling in.
other
No.
Morton too, so it would
No.
I would be like a distant
You
cousin.
are not an honorary member of the Midnight Express.
I'm going to take it. I was an
I
honorary
said
member.
Midnight.
I'm an honorary
and I
member.
listen to Cornette, so that makes me an honorary member of the Midnight.
Somebody
However,
goes back to losing.
That being said, if you'd like to make me an honorary member of the Midnight, sir, I would not say no. I'd be very honest.
I speak for Ricky and Robert when saying no.
Why?
We won't allow it.
Are you kidding me? Could you imagine Dennis Condrey and me on a fucking road trip?
No one ever said Austin Still was great.
Hey, that kid had potential.
I
That's not
tagged with Tracy Smothers, so am I one of the pistols? Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely
no,
are.
No, that's
You
not.
absolutely are. That's how this works.
You tagged with me once, remember? Hold on. Since coaches in
Do
the
you
room,
remember?
I have to tell this story because it's one of my favorite wrestling stories ever.
Why not? The show's structure's already
Fuck
went
'em.
to shit early.
So, Coach and I got booked at the same territory. We were both working heels. And the promoter comes and he goes, "I think I want you guys to be baby faces."
I always enjoyed the heel bread.
Oh, well, clearly you're talking to. But we got so fucking mad that we literally packed our shit, went to Coach's car, and sat there for a solid, like, I think almost an hour, trying to talk to each other about, like, 3:30, trying to talk to each other about whether or not we're going to stay to do this fucking show. And at the last minute, I mean, the bell time was 7 p.m. on the dot, and we were like the third match. So it's like 7:20. Finally, I'm like, you know what? Let's just go put on our fucking gear. We'll try it and see what happens. The only thing we did was I had Coach give me a piggyback ride to the ring. That's it. Because he's the only guy in the locker room who's bigger than me. So I hop on his back. We come out. I got like the fucking fedora thing on. Remember when I was doing that gimmick or whatever?
Bull Bronson can do that.
We fucking roll out to the ring. The crowd lost their shit. We worked the entire match as babyfaces, went over. We got to the back, and we were so pissed because it worked that the promoter and the booker looked at us and go, see? Told you it would work.
The words "it just won't work" were said at the
We literally, we were going to leave. We were so fucking hot. Like, this is never going to work. They fucking hate us here. Like, this isn't going to fucking happen. Piggyback ride was all it took. We were there for 6 weeks, and they put the fucking tag belts on us. That's a true fucking story. Like, two guys that absolutely had no business being
Now, hold
tag
on.
partners.
Did they put the title belts on, or did you guys just kind of find some tag belts later on?
What I do in my own time is my business. All right, so.
I hear there's iCall tag titles somewhere around.
No, it's not talking about it. All right, so we're an hour and 1 minute into the stream.
Yes.
We haven't even got to birthdays and bullshit yet. I think it's time to play the game.
Do we want to play the game this week, or do we want to do that next?
Nope. I'm going to do it right now.
All right, we're going to play a
baby.
game. I am ahead 2 points in the WrestleMania season point standings, to which Caleb, loser of last year.
Fuck you.
Caleb, loser of last year, will do his punishment.
Yes.
From
WrestleMania weekend.
Last season.
I will have the Danhausen face and do the whole gimmick.
Now,
his face?
The guy
Very
who won
good.
last year, who's currently winning this year, decided, I want to play a game for a point. We haven't been in a live stream in about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I think we owe the people something
fun. Different, yeah.
So we're going to play the alphabet game. For those of you who aren't familiar with the alphabet game, I will start a wrestler's name that starts with the letter A. Next person in line will go B, C, D, and so on and so forth. We will give you a little bit of time to answer. If you're too far gone, we will vote the two that, and we'll determine if we're going to allow you to keep playing or not. We'll do it elimination style till there's one left. That person gets a point. Like I said, I am 2 ahead of the tied gentleman.
Yeah.
Which means I can walk away with a point.
What are
There's
you,
only
30?
one
What is
point.
it, 38 to 36, right? Was our last count?
Yes,
It's
38
either 38 to 36 or 40 to 38. Either way, you're 2 points ahead.
Regardless, I'm 2 points ahead. Now, the does not count.
No, so if you say Great Khali, it's G.
Also, the letter has to start the person's first name. You can't be like M. Michaels.
Right.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Has to be the first name.
Yep.
You want me to start?
Sure. Start with the letter A.
Adam Cole.
Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Carlito.
Danhausen.
What am I? E?
Mhm.
Effie.
F.
Farmer
Billy Hill.
I'll count it.
Farmer Billy. Hey, that counts. That counts. G.
Gangrel.
H. Heidenreich.
I.
Ivory.
Oh,
Hey!
damn.
Will leave me at J. Johnny Nitro Morrison, whatever. That guy.
Kane.
Kane. Ass.
Luna.
M.
Mason Ryan.
N. Oh my God. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. N. Fuck. I don't think I can think of anybody who starts with an N.
And
I think I'm out.
He's
I'm
out.
Damn.
Caleb's out. In, Max.
Nikki Cross.
Damn.
Orange Cassidy. Keep track here. P.
Hold on.
Yeah.
N-O-P. Stop it.
What? You can't do? Did he ever wrestle us?
Yes.
I don't know.
In AEW.
P.
All right, well done. Fuck it.
Well, then I guess Paul White. But I don't know.
What am I?
Q.
Q. Hold on. Q. The hell is his actually? The Quebecer.
Isn't the Quebecer
A name.
was it PCO now, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Quebecer.
That qualifies.
Okay. That puts me at
R.
I thought it was QU.
Oh, it is. Sorry, my fault.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Undertaker.
There you go.
No, it's QRS.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh, wait.
It is. Oh, my God. How did I just fucking... I've got 3 degrees
It's
of
an
language.
R, sir.
God damn it.
It's not written down in front of me.
Yeah.
R.
R. Ricochet.
S.
Nice. Sandman.
T.
T. Why is this so difficult? T.
I can't
Taz.
There you go.
U. Umaga.
UV.
Vowel Venus.
W.
You're an asshole, sir. W. William Rotunda.
There you go.
Xavier Woods.
Oh, Z.
That'd be Y.
Is it what? Goddamn. How did I fuck this up twice? Why?
Oh,
Whatever. It's funny.
Y. Would Yerpel count?
What? Who?
Yerpel, the clown that used to come out with Foley. Made the stuffed animals and shit.
Hold on. Challenge.
All right.
Hold on.
I'm asking if it counts.
Well, I have to find out if it's spelled Y or U.
It's Y. Yerpel, like purple with a Y. Go ahead and check. I'll go Yokozuna. Go ahead and check the Yerpel, though.
I don't see
Zelina.
it.
Selena.
Back to A.
Arn Anderson.
B.
Bradshaw.
Cactus Jack.
D. D.
Damn. Daniel Bryan.
That'll work.
I'll take it. Put mine on E. Eugene.
F.
Frank Kazarian.
Ooh!
Nice!
G.
That was really good.
That was actually I'm impressed.
Gobbledygooker.
Oh, you said like H.
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 Tor Holly.
We'll go hardcore,
That's
Holly.
fine. That's
Where am I
I'm
at?
literally trying to give it to you.
I?
Yeah.
I'm
I'm feeling the pressure, all right?
God, I'm gonna butcher her fucking name. Io Shirai.
Yep, that'll count. J.
Jackson Pollock. Riker.
Jackson. Well, you're on fire right now. K.
Kevin Owens.
L.
Lashley. No, it has to be first name, doesn't it?
He actually goes by Lashley now, so I will count it.
Okay.
I'll count
I'll
Lashley.
take it. M.
M. Meat.
N.
Natalia.
O.
Oscar from Men on a Mission.
P.
Does Paul Heyman?
I'd count it.
Paul Heyman has wrestled, yeah. Q.
Damn, we're back to Q again.
I
That's messed up, man.
don't think you're getting out of it
Hold
twice.
on, Q. Yeah, right. Q again. You're not in me on Q. Give me a second. Q. That's a hard one. I'm going to throw out Quicksilver because I know it's a wrestler.
His name is Josh Quicksilver.
I'm sure there's a Quicksilver on the Indies, sir.
I can't validate that. I only know of the one. All right, hold on. You already said Quicksilver. Let's see. All right, challenge. Quicksilver wrestler. I'll be a son of a bitch. Richard Clements, Quicksilver.
You're welcome. So that would leave you on R.
Randy Orton.
S.
Skinner. T.
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips is an agent.
I don't know. His name was in my head.
On-air personality. I don't think
the test.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take test.
You. You're a cinemaga.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah. The fuck that I could not remember a wrestler whose name started with N. I'm so mad at myself.
Starts with U.
You.
Stop it. You. I said the doesn't count, correct?
Correct.
Undertaker.
Nope. He already used
No, it's okay. No, because we had it mixed up, so it's okay.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Plus, you gave me that one, so.
V.
B.
You already said Val Venus.
V.
Oh, this was so obvious.
I know where he's going.
Yeah.
I know where he's going with it. He's thinking about it too much. V.
Oh.
Victoria?
Wasn't even thinking about Victoria. Well done. W.
William Regal.
You already said William Regal.
I did?
No.
Oh, okay. Will o' the Wisp.
That counts.
Or Willow, I guess, however you want to
That
call
counts.
it. Jeff Hardy's mask.
X.
X gonna give it to you. He gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you.
Marks the spot.
It
Sometimes-
does, but not right now.
You already said Xavier Woods.
Yep.
I don't know that there's another one.
If you're conceding, Luke takes another point. He's 3 ahead of us.
Excalibur.
No, it starts with an E.
It starts with an E, sir.
Xylophone.
Xylophone, it makes cute
Oh.
noise, but no.
Would you like me to challenge that and look it up? I'll give you one more guess that we're going to call it. Think about it for a second. You got time.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to put a time on him.
Well, great. Luke is now 3
Wow.
points ahead of us because I couldn't
don't know.
remember a wrestler's name who started with N, and Max lost 2 X's. After he got lost after 2 X's, I should say.
Yeah.
Well done. I couldn't remember after N, so outstanding.
So that puts me at 3.
You are now 3 points ahead. Correct, sir. We hope y'all enjoy. Well, who's your cue? Spit it out.
Oh, yeah, hell, I just saw that.
Y'all vamp for a second, and then we'll get to the last segment.
All right.
I'll be right back. Why
Uh,
don't you peek the social media there?
yeah, if you have any questions, comments, or requests for reviews, stories, anything, you can reach us several different ways. One being on Facebook, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Also, you can join us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. You can send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown at gmail.com. You can always like and comment here in the chat. Let's see. Kiwi thought it was a Q. Gotcha. Yeah, no. There was I was reaching for a couple of those. I was glad that that one actually paid off for me. I was like, surely There's an indie guy named Quicksilver, surely. But no, you can join us on all those social media. Also, be sure to watch out for Anna Fight Underground on IWTV. Pro Wrestling Throwdown calls the action and the sound for IWTV's No Friends in This Industry. Also, we're going to be doing The Grudge in Illinois Quick Skating Rink, April the 28th.
That sounds right.
7 o'clock bell time. We've already announced Madman Pondo versus Bev from 440. The difference in Savion Ayers has been announced to take on Jacques Kennedy and the Skimmerhorns. Cash Borden has laid down the challenge of a triple threat for Ty Blade's Brass Knuckles Championship, throwing Bull Bronson into the mix. We've got several more things to be announced, but quick skating rink, 7 o'clock.
What I miss?
Yeah, didn't miss anything. Just shilling all of our shit.
Good.
Will thought that Kiwi was spelled with a K. Or with a Q. Kiwi. Kiwi is spelled with a Q.
I don't know who that
is. It's not Kiwi. Kiwi, Alan Funk. Angry Alan Funk.
Oh,
TNA,
shit, yeah.
Come out as Kiwi,
That's
the hairdresser.
Yeah, that's fair.
Character. You are correct. Kiwi would have worked.
All right, so we've covered the news. We've played the game. We've roasted some trolls. Thank you for your service. I guess it's that time.
It is that time for our favorite segment.
All right, Max, are you ready? It's time for birthdays.
Bullshit.
Max,
All right.
take it away.
All right. I want to start out with acknowledging that today, March 6th, is the Day of the Dude. It is the end of a celebration for the Big Lebowski. The Dude, Jeff Bridges. There's a whole religion called Dudism. Today is the culmination of said holiday. I can't remember the name of it for some reason right now. It's escaping me. But today is the official release date of The Big Lebowski.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So it is officially the
We're
Day
Jeff
of
Bridges
the Dude.
fans here.
Yeah. Everything he's ever been in.
Absolutely.
I'm going to beat you today as well.
No, you're not.
Like I just spanked you both.
All right, so let's get into some birthdays. Don't have a whole ton here, but we got enough to go.
Let's
We're
roll.
going to start with Mike Tenay.
Mike today is
March 1st.
73 years old.
72.
67.
Damn. Younger than I
Mike
thought.
Tenay.
Good for
Also
Mike
on the
today.
first, Big E. Langston had a birthday.
36.
36.
Damn. Good point.
Also on the first, Kyle O'Reilly.
Hold on. Mark that down.
I got a point.
Oh, I thought you said over.
Nope. On the nail with that
I thought
one.
you said the same.
Kyle O'Reilly,
33.
34.
Kyle O'Reilly is 35.
Damn.
Price is right, bitch.
2 already.
That's okay. I had a hell of a lead last week.
Still
On the
needs it.
second, Miss Deborah had a birthday.
60. Wait.
Deborah's
Yes,
67. 67.
Yeah, that's what I was at. 67 was my guess.
Are you going to go
Fuck
with
it. I'm sticking with it. 67. We'll tie up. What do you got?
What's your
67.
guess?
I said the same number.
Oh, it's only 62.
Oh, older than I thought. Or
The
younger.
first
than
thing
I
I
thought.
said was 63 in my head anyway after that, so I'd have been wrong anyway.
Today is Val Venus's birthday.
Fuck Sean Morley. 52.
Your hatred for Val Venus fuels me in ways I can't explain to you.
52.
No, 55.
51.
Damn.
Damn.
Both wrong.
Along with Mr. Kennedy.
48 years old.
49 years old.
About 46 years old.
Are you fucking kidding me? Twice?
Yeah.
Twice we did this? Did I ever tell you about the time that IWOW wanted me to rip off the Mr. Kennedy gimmick?
That would have been perfect for you.
Caleb Kennedy was my name for one show.
Tomorrow, Bruce Pritchard celebrates birthday.
The Artful Dodger himself.
Second
Hold
only to Brother Love.
So Cornette just turned 61. So Pritchard,
Wait a minute. Bruce, you said? Bruce Pritchard?
actually Cornette just turned 60, I think. So Pritchard 63.
64.
About 59.
Oh, wow.
Pritchard's
Yeah, no, no.
younger than Cornette?
Sounds like it.
Apparently.
That explains a lot.
So how about on the
Gods
8th,
are angry.
Fuck 'em.
Chad Gable will have a birthday.
Oh God.
Chad Gable's 34 years old.
I was going to say 32.
How about 36? That's 3 for Luke.
And none for me so far.
I say that.
This has never happened before. I have never lost this hard.
On the 9th, we would have Melina.
Ooh, that's tough.
Melina, 44 years old.
41 years old.
43. Point for Gabe.
Finally! On the board.
Sun shines on a dog's ass some days.
Also on the 9th, Rick Steiner. Celebrate birthday.
Oh, shit.
64.
63.
61.
Damn, I knew he was younger than 64.
How about on the 10th, Luchasaurus.
38.
That's what I was going. 37.
37.
Ha! Eat it.
And then my last wrestling birthday.
Okay.
On the 12th, we remember the great Mae Young. 1923 to 2014.
Well, that's not really fair, is it?
No,
I'm
we got
never
some
going to hear me
celebrity
say a bad
birthdays,
thing
so-
about Mae Young. She'd come back from the dead and kill me.
You're damn right.
You got a handful of celebrity birthdays.
Smoking a cigar the
Speaking
whole
of
time.
handfuls of birthdays, we need to be remiss if we didn't mention Mae Young's illegitimate hand of a child.
That's right.
Gross.
That's right. Also,
Mark Henry's child.
yesterday
Second worst gimmick
was
ever. in wrestling.
the, I believe it was yesterday, the 40th anniversary of John Belushi's death.
Oh, man.
Yep.
John Belushi.
He was with Robin Williams the night before.
It was,
One of the absolute greatest comics of his time.
yeah, way ahead of his time.
John
Yeah.
Belushi, John Candy, and Chris
Farley.
Farley all went out the exact same way.
Yep.
What a shame.
Party, live life to
And
excess.
hey, if my cards play out, same track, baby.
And bulletproof. Remember that.
Ha! Haven't landed a shot yet.
All right, so let's get into our celebrity birthdays here. We've got, we're going to start out with, on the first, it was Zack Snyder.
The director,
Yes,
46.
48.
56.
56.
Gotcha.
Damn,
Luke gets
10 years
one.
off.
How about Daniel Craig? 007.
Ooh, 53.
56.
How about 54?
Hot damn!
Followed by also.
Wait, we're tied now, right?
He shares a
think.
birthday on the second with Rebel Wilson.
32.
33.
32.
42.
No shit.
Wow, we were closer.
Point to you, wait to four.
Yep.
Yes. Wow.
What's our standing so
43?
far?
I think we're tied now.
44.
44.
See, also on the second was John Bon Jovi.
I should know this one.
56.
No, older than that. 58.
60. He's still hanging on by a prayer.
Got him. Tyson Warren, I don't know if any asked you guys yet, but how do you feel about the IWGP heavyweight title belt? I really hate it and thought the previous belt was perfect. I agree.
I agree.
The
It's
original
terrible.
design was incredible. The new one they updated to be competitive with the aesthetic appeal of the WWE Intercontinental title, which is one of the more higher selling belts overseas. They should have kept the traditional design that they had. That's not the first one. The Okada belt they had, what was it, circa 2013, 2015, was the absolute best belt that IWGP ever had.
I was about to say, when you're talking about championship belts and favorites, it's hard to get past the Winged Eagle.
Oh, well, first of all, the big gold belt.
Well, you're a WCW.
We'll be accepting no further questions at this time. The
Okay.
big gold belt.
Nah.
I do love the Winged Eagle.
Yeah.
It's not the big gold belt. It's also not the 10 pounds of gold, baby.
Awesome.
NWA World title. Talk about.
Or the original design for the Intercontinental title.
How about the first NWA US title? The first one that had the brackets on the fucking sides of the banner. Beautiful belt. Anyway, Max, you were saying.
All right, let's go to March 3rd. We had Jessica Biel.
Ooh.
33. Loves the Big Eagle, too.
No,
see?
older than 33. I'll say 34 just because she's older than that.
40.
Thank you very much.
6-4.
Ha ha! Caught up, bitch!
All right.
Eat
On
my
the
dust.
4th was one of our movie mothers growing up, Catherine O'Hara.
Ooh.
Kevin McAllister's mother.
Yeah.
And in
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
She's gotta be
72.
younger, 66.
68.
Also, outstanding in Schitt's Creek. You ever watch the show? Great.
Or Best in Show, any of those, really.
Oh, yeah.
How about yesterday on 5th, we had Eva Mendes and Penn Gillette.
Penn
Eva
Gillette.
Mendes,
Okay, Eva Mendes first.
43.
41.
48.
Got that one. Penn Gillette, 64.
68.
67.
Damn!
What off? You could have said 65,
I
but
was
you
going to
didn't.
say 66.
4 left.
All right. Who's in
And
the lead
it
right
is
now?
8-5.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank
I
you.
could do this then.
All right, you got
All
4.
right, all right. You ready?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have Tom Arnold, D.L. Hughley, and Shaquille O'Neal.
All right, first one on the list.
Tom Arnold.
What's first one on the list?
Tom Arnold.
Tom Arnold?
67.
68.
Well, 63, no point.
Damn. DL
Have to tie it
Hughley.
then.
D.L. Hughley.
Oh, I want to say he's still just in his 50s.
55.
56.
How about 59?
Got me.
Mm.
Now
You're
just
welcome,
playing-
but we have to play for posterity's sake.
Shaquille O'Neal.
That's tough.
I'm just going to go a cool 60. He's got to be
I
up there.
think he's younger than. I'll say 56.
He's only 50.
Oh, wow.
I knew he was young. Damn, I was going to say 51st. God damn.
Give me the name.
And tomorrow,
Hold on, wait a minute. Give me the name, Caleb.
tomorrow, Brian Cranston.
Zordon.
I was going to say the dad from Malcolm in the Middle.
What do you mean Zordon?
He played Zordon.
He was Zordon in the new Power Rangers movie that came out a couple years ago, and it was actually really good.
He was actually
Sorry,
also
I'm a
Eye
nerd,
Guy
fucking
in the,
surprised.
in the original series. He played Eye Guy.
And also, if you didn't watch fucking Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
so here's the rub with him. He's got to be, I think, either in his late 50s or early 60s. I'll say 58.
I will go.
Actually, 57. Let me retract that. 57. Cool 57.
I'm going to go 59.
66.
I was really hoping he was going to say 58. Neither one of us would get the point.
Pissed me off.
9-6. Or 5.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that means, once again, I am the smartest man who's ever lived. All
Something
right.
like
Well,
Just a shame you're 3 points behind me.
And
it means absolutely nothing.
earlier, sources have confirmed that Ozzy and Sharon are moving out of LA due to taxes and are most likely going to return to the UK.
That makes sense.
Well, hopefully the
That has nothing to do
fuckface.
with anything, but hey.
Hey, no.
Hopefully, fuckface that was in the
hey.
chat from over in England can.
You
give
know
us
what?
some panties
You
in
know
a
what?
bunch.
Thank you for letting me shoot on you. Thank you for being a good sport. Obviously, you left the chat already, but if you ever want to come back and play some more, I want.
We
I'm
would like
all
to
about
thank the newest people, Tyson Lauren being one.
Yeah.
Thank you
By
for
the way,
your
we
request.
had the highest rated viewership in chat today than we've ever had before. Thank you guys so much for the
a
engagement.
record high of 11 people in the chat at once.
That's just communicating. That's not total
Yeah.
viewers. That's
Yeah.
like people that were here. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate all the views, all the shit talk. I know that I go hard, but I welcome the trolls. Please show up. That's just fun for us. Don't take it personally.
Trolls,
I
on your way out, don't forget to like and subscribe.
don't. Please do. All right, guys. Well, from us to you, as always, thank you for showing up. First of all, find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD. Send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. And as always, from Luke, from KB, from our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury,
I gotta pee.
keep it in the ring. Fucking troll.
Caleb the
I'll fucking-
Troll Hunter.
I'll fight you a goddamn.
Caleb the
Troll
Troll
Hunter.
Hunter.